With all of the piercings that I've had in my life, there's a few that I will never get, and there's a few that I will never get pierced again. And in this week's video, I wanted to go through that list. But before I start, I just want to say that I mean no disrespect to anybody who has these piercings or likes these piercings. These are my own personal views, and not everybody's the same, each to their own. The first piercing that I will never get is a septum piercing. And I really like them. I would love to have it done, but because of medical reasons, I can't. I had surgery on my nose in January last year, and that was to fix my deviated septum, and also I had a slight fracture on the side of my nose. And what they had to do with that is cut my septum out of my nose, pull it out, sew it together, straighten it up, put it back in, and sew it back inside my nose. And if I was to get my septum pierced, there is a high chance that it will make my septum collapse. Now, there's going to be a few people that are going to disagree with me on this one, but me personally, I do not want to take that risk. It was bad enough for like the 3 weeks that I was in agony because my nose hurt so bad. So I don't really want to take the risk and go through something like that again. I've had quite a few people ask me, oh, why don't you stretch your ears? No offense to anybody who has stretched ears, but that's just not for me. I'm not really a big fan of it, and it's a little bit of a commitment to want to do that, and it was hard enough for me to commit to my tattoo. So committing to stretching my ears when if I stretch it to a certain gauge, it can't be unstretched without surgery. So to avoid going through that, I would prefer not to get a piercing that I might not like when it gets further down the track. And something else that I cannot get done or will not get done is surface piercings. Pretty much every surface piercing that I've ever had has rejected. I got my belly button pierced when I was 14, and now this didn't reject, it just slowly migrated out a little bit. It didn't come out, but it didn't help when I climbed over a barbed wire fence and almost ripped it out. That hurt like hell. But being in a wheelchair, it's just not very practical to have my belly button pierced when more than likely everything is going to catch on it. I absolutely loved having my eyebrow pierced, but I can't do that anymore. I've had it pierced probably about 8 times in my life, and every single time it got rejected and migrated out. So for that reason, I am not getting my eyebrow pierced ever again. As much as it sucks because I loved having it done, I'm never going to get it done again. And the same goes for like dermals. My wrist used to have a surface piercing, but I did that when I was 17. I actually can't remember doing it because I did it a few weeks before I had my accident on New Year's Eve 2007. So there's a few weeks that are sort of, I can't quite remember, and that one I can't remember doing at all, but it got infected and I have a slight scar on my wrist from where I tried that. I would love to get that actually professionally done, but knowing me and knowing my body and how my body is going to reject it, I'm 90% sure that it will reject if I was to get it pierced. And the same goes for belly button, eyebrow, any sort of surface piercing, can't get it done. I would never get my nipples pierced, and the reason for this is a few reasons. One, I'm a complete wimp, and I'm too much of a chicken to get it done. And 2, because it is a surface piercing and it is more than likely going to reject. And the last piercing that I will never get done, and this one, nothing is going to change my mind for this piercing. I will never get a genital piercing. Being in a wheelchair, I'm sitting down all the time. It is not practical. It is just going to be uncomfortable, too hard to get it done. So I'm never going to get that done. Even though I do really like them, and I have a guy friend who has 6 of them. I'm not even going to go there, but they look freaking awesome. Yes, kids, I know what a penis looks like. Shock horror. So these are all of the piercings that I would never get done, but I'm only 25 and who knows, I might change my mind further down the track, but right now, not changing my mind. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you have any requests of piercing videos in the future, please write them in the comments and hopefully I'll get around to doing them. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all and I will see you next week.